Year-old Laquan Mcdonald was shot and killed.
86 minutes of video is missing from the night. A single officer shot McDonald 16 times.
According to a district manager for Burger King, police entered one of their restaurants not long after the shooting and erased footage from the company's security cameras. We had no idea they were going to sit there and delete the files, Jay Darshane.
Enter the arena, the Don Juan Banks, alongside with Tommy Razorstein, talking about this very, very serious situation. Laquan McDonald shot 16 times in 5 seconds by racist cop. We're watching the footage right now, Tommy Razorstein. It's very graphic. What is your opinion on this situation?
This is terrible, Don. You know, it's so sad that this happens all the time too. I mean, it happens multiple times a year. You know, every other month it's another shooting by some poor innocent black kid who's, you know, unarmed.
Oh my God, he's shot. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's horrible.
Walk us through this right now.
From what the video looks like, he's jaywalking, and they said he's holding a knife. Now he's not attacking.
Right now.
Right now you can see him where he's walking down the street. At this point, yeah, he should be walking in the middle of the road. But I've walked in the middle of the road before. I don't know what the problem is exactly, why the police were called. But he just opened fire on him right there. Now, I say he has a knife in his hand, but he's not lunging at the police, which, you know, the police said he was doing. When they said, oh, well, he lunged at the police. And that was the police statement at first, where he lunges at police and they had to defend themselves against, you know, some crazy kid with a knife. And the cops had to put him away. Well, this is over a year ago. You can see October 20th, 2014. And the family was awarded money, $5 million, because, you know, this is clear evidence that there's no reason why they should shoot and kill their son like this. So the family's awarded money, and they didn't want this video out. They're like, you know, we don't want this out. We don't want, you know, this to be a huge incident. And they tried covering it up for a long time, but eventually the video got out. Even when they went into McDonald's, the police went into, when the police went into Burger King, and they tried getting the security camera, the video, and to start deleting all the files from
the racist pig cops deleted the files in Burger King. That's what Darshane said. This kid was shot unjustly, in my mind, Tommy Razorstein. We've already been down this road with Trayvon Martin. We've been down this road with Mike Brown. And we've been down this road on a daily fucking basis when Black lives should matter. Instead, we're getting incidents like this. And to even have the audacity to delete the files. Cops is nothing but an organized gang, Tommy Razorstein. This is bullshit. I do not like it. And I'm going to make sure that we get our voice heard out there. This is ridiculous, Razorstein. They deleted the fucking files.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that, and then the one cop unloaded his magazine on the kid and fired 16 shots. Now, that goes to what I'm always complaining about is the police training. I'm not happy with the police training. And they say, oh, I'm not happy with the police training. And that's a big issue I would like to talk about. And they say, well, it's not every police, not all the cops are bad. Not every cop is bad. Not every police officer is bad. Of course not. That's crazy. Why would you think I would say such a stupid thing? But the training's bad. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about UFC and Ronda got knocked out, she should have had better training. Well, how come the police are trained to unload and use up their entire magazine? They're trained to use every bullet as soon as they fire all the bullets. Why did they have to shoot? Why did that one cop have to shoot the kid while he's on the ground and use up every bullet he has? 16 bullets and completely unload on a child. I mean, God forbid, he shot the kid, right? One time and was trained to shoot once or trained in a different way to, assess different situations instead of unloading every single bullet in your magazine. And maybe he fired once and, shouldn't have fired once, but hit the kid in the arm and it could be resolved and the kid didn't die. But no, they had to unload and he had to shoot every single bullet in his magazine and unload. Why? Why is the training like that? I mean, maybe there could be something in the cartridges where only a couple of shots are fired, or you could set it up where you could fire only a couple of shots, or some kind of scenario where you're not unloading every single bullet in your magazine. It's ridiculous.
Tommy Razorstein. We're going to read this Huffington Post. On Tuesday evening, more than a year after Laquan McDonald's death, Chicago police released dash cam video. And Tommy, you can cut me off at any time, showing Officer Jason Van Dyke killing the black 17-year-old in a hail of 16 bullets. Hours before the public saw the graphic footage, Cook County State Attorney Anita Alvarez charged Van Dyke with first-degree murder for the killing. Authorities have characterized the video as the only piece of evidence that shows how McDonald's life ended on the night of October 20th, 2014. He was just charged, but there's reportedly another video that could have provided insight into the events leading up to the shooting. If it hadn't been mysteriously deleted. This is bullshit, Razorstein. And this is evidence that if we're seeing this happen right in front of our eyes, what is happening when we are not watching?
Exactly, man. I mean, it's crazy to see this where the police go into the Burger King and start deleting fucking video. What is something out of a movie? This is crazy. Where the police just go in and start deleting shit out of, Burger King surveillance cameras. It's crazy. What else are they doing? And this is the shit that they might have not gotten caught with. You know what I mean? They almost got away with.
We're going to go on. Listen to this. Jay Darshane is district manager for a number of Chicago area Burger King restaurants, including the one on Pulaski Road, the street McDonald was walking down when he was killed. Officers had pursued McDonald through the parking lot of Darshane's Burger King on the night of October the 20th to investigate reports that a teen had been breaking into trucks. According to Darshane, that location is equipped with surveillance cameras that would have likely recorded parts of the brief pursuit, though not the actual shooting itself. In May, however, he told NBC Chicago that police had deleted the footage before he got a chance to see it. On the night of the shooting, a handful of officers came to the restaurant and asked to view the recordings. Darshane said employees gave them the password to the equipment, and 3 hours later, the officers left, he said. When the investigators for Chicago Independent Police Review Authority showed up the next day asking for the same thing, the IPRA investigator found that nearly an hour and a half of footage recorded around the same time of McDonald's death had gone missing. Darshane said the police must have been to blame. The police, look what she says, and this is facts what we're bringing to you right now, not opinions. This is a fact. We had no idea that they were going to sit there and delete the files, Darshane told NBC Chicago. I mean, we were just trying to help the police officers, and by trying to help them, they basically contaminated the scene, and they deleted the files of more evidence of misconduct.
It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
The police. The governor has the right to enact martial law the moment he makes the decision. In Chicago, they've been having protests and riots. I'm hearing things are calming down at this moment, but we're waiting for another update. That's propaganda when you play with things and distort the truth.
Definitely. Definitely. What are they getting away with?
What?
I mean, like, if they have the balls
Yeah.
to walk into Burger King and be like, yo, I want your surveillance tapes, and you start deleting the files, what other things have they got away with?
Yes.
I mean, if you have the balls to walk into Burger King and be like, I want your video. What? Okay, here you go. And you start deleting the files, like, are you allowed to do this? We're the police. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yes.
What have they got away with? I mean, the guy was on the police force for 14 years before he got charged with murder in the first. What else did he get away with for those 14 years? What other things have people been like, oh, okay, well, this seems standard routine shit. Let's go into Burger King, start deleting all the files. It's crazy.
Listen to this, Razor Stein, and everybody that's watching right now. This is an unjust situation, and the Don Juan Banks and Tommy Razor Stein are speaking about this. No holds barred or enter the arena uncut. That's why we're here, because it's uncut, and we're going to give you the truth uncut.
Yeah, you may not like it. You know what I mean? That's the thing about uncut. You may not like it. You may be offended. But you know what? Tough fucking shit.
Razor Stein is the fact that police entered the Burger King restaurant without a warrant or a subpoena, accused the system upon demanding the password, and then left, and that 86 minutes or so of video is missing from all 11 cameras is something that gave us a great deal of concern. Michael Robbins, an attorney for the Mcdonald family. Now the video would have shown the actual shooting, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of Into the Arena. The actual shooting would have been on camera, but it would have shown the events leading up to the shooting and perhaps some of the witnesses during the course of the shooting and the police interaction with witnesses following the shooting, he added. There is no credible explanation for why the video is missing. The Burger King camera had 7 different video files. The officer went into Burger King and he erased all fucking 7 of those files. Futterman said, Craig Futterman, a Chicago attorney who aggressively lobbied for the release of the dash cam video. Razor Stein, first of all, let's go to you. You, attorney, had to lobby to get the footage after it was deleted and contaminated.
It's nuts, man. It's something out of a movie.
This is the people we trust our lives in. I don't trust the fucking cops. Police brutality. The U.S. government relies on its police to intimidate and interrogate innocent blacks as means of enforcing fear of state.
It's true. It is true. And if there's someone, some group of people who the police can beat up on and show, like, look, these people have
to Razor Stein, we want to get you. We want to hear everything you got to say clearly. We want to hear you.
Sorry about that. It is absolutely true. If there's a group of people the police try to beat up on to show the rest, hey, fall in line. It's the blacks, and it's not fair. It's not right.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's totally wrong. They do it all the time. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's just some black kid. We're allowed to shoot him as much as we want. What? What gives you the right to do that? Why? Because you have a badge? No. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they said that kid lunged at the police. Remember when they said that Matt Brown was, Mike Brown, sorry. Matt Brown's a UFC fighter. Mike Brown
We know
was,
you're the best MMA analyst, so.
when he was lunging at the police and trying to take their guns, they always hear that. Oh, he was grabbing for my gun. He was grabbing for my gun. Remember you heard that shit? That ridiculous statement? And it's like, here's another incident. Oh, he was lunging at the police with a knife. It's always the police were on the defense, and for some reason they had to shoot and kill some kid. And you find out, no, that's not the truth. I mean, if there was video surveillance on Brown, I would definitely think that Brown was not, trying to grab the cop's gun away from him. And that, police were just like, well, I'm allowed to shoot you. I'm the cops. And I'm not saying all police are bad. And people are like, oh, not all police are bad. No, I think what happened was, in the past 20 years, police training is bad. Has gotten really bad. The police training has gotten really bad. And that's the real problem. Just like when we talk about MMA, you know what I mean? What kind of training did Ronda get to prepare for this fight? What kind of training did so-and-so do to get ready for this fight? Same thing. I think the training for the police, it's just really bad.
Razor Stein, we're looking at, police brutality, and we're going to go into that video in a second. But just the gall of it all to delete 86 minutes. I'm reading this. The irony from Fetterman, though, that the Burger King surveillance video was running while the officer erased him. And so there's a videotape of the officer erasing the video. Authorities have made no attempt to explain what happened to the fucking video. And neither the Chicago Police Department nor the IPRA responded to the Huffington Post request for comment so far. However, officials have maintained that disappearance of the footage had nothing to do with the police. Now, we know right now that is an outrageous lie. In a statement in May, a spokesperson for the IPRA said, "We have no credible evidence at this time that would cause us to believe CPD purged or erased any surveillance footage." On Tuesday, that story hadn't changed. Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy said accusations that police had scrubbed the video were absolutely not true. Alvarez also responded to a question about the missing footage, saying forensic testing on Burger King surveillance system didn't suggest anyone had tampered with the evidence. She shouldn't say which agency had conducted the forensic probe, however. While the official attempt to solve this mystery may be over, Darshane's part in it isn't. He told DNA Info on Tuesday. He said another law enforcement officials has spoken with him about his comments on the matter, and he believes he has to testify in the case. For that reason, he has been advised not to speak further about what happened in the Burger King on the night of the shooting. Police brutality. First of all, the fear of the state. This role was once occupied by the slave drivers. Now police own it. The police became the slave drivers class, the overseas class, Italian class. Can't stand black. Same people who lynch can't be with the same people who lynch. Now they have a badge.
Yep.
We're looking at police brutality, Rodney King syndrome. We're looking at it right now, Razor Stein. Look, we're going to go. Razor Stein, I'm giving the mic to you while we go through police brutality over the years.
You know what the crazy thing is? Since Rodney King, it's kind of like standard. It's crazy where it's like Rodney King, got the shit beat out of him, and everyone was up in arms, when they saw that video. And you would think that it would actually get better. That like, okay, this is what happens, and we got to stop this.
Oh, Razor Stein, I'm sorry to cut you off. Look, remember this.
Yeah. You're just beating the hell out of that woman. You just ground and pounding her and just beating the hell out of her.
In full mount.
In full mount. And she doesn't even know how to, put up guards. So it's defenseless. And he has training. And she doesn't know anything about fucking, how to get back and start scooting away and strimping away and put up guard. And she can't do that. At least from the video. It's crazy, though. It's absolutely nuts. You see this time and time again. Where you would have thought that after Rodney King, that things would have gotten better instead of worse. It's like kind of standard now. You would have thought, okay, after Rodney King, we're going to see less of this. No, we see more of it. It's nuts. And it isn't like you just see, more of it in LA. You see more of it all across the country. It's crazy. There's that video where the guy's running away and he gets shot in the back like 8 times. Yes, I know he should be running from the police. But you don't shoot people. You don't have the right to shoot people. I know you have a badge, but you don't have the right to, shoot people. It's not a war zone. It's society. And the problem is a lot of these police, get their training to think that, okay, this is a war zone and we have to take out people. No, this is still our society. This isn't a war zone. This isn't, Baghdad, and we have to, eliminate the threat. I seriously believe it's the training and the bad training that you get being a police officer, because you're trained to eliminate threats and take people out, and that's wrong. It's wrong to see how fucked up people get. I mean, look at this woman in this video. She just gets her head smashed. Blood all over the place.
Ooh.
That's terrible, man. I never even saw that one. That one's terrible. And here's the one that the woman's in handcuffs and the cop just kicks her right in the face. Yeah, I understand it. You went to the police academy and you went through training, you got a badge, and you got a gun and all this other crazy horse shit, to justify why you're allowed to do this to people. But at the end of the day, it's just one person doing it to another person. And what really gives that person the right to do that? You don't have that right. And we're the only country.
Black lives should matter. And simple as this. The cops, the racist pig cops, they're going out here, they're displaying police brutality, killing blacks, and they're going to have to answer for it. They're going to have to answer for it. And point blank, me and Tommy Razorstein, we don't agree with it. And we're here to stand up. And we want to let everyone on Into the Arena uncut and all across the world that there's a lot of solutions to these problems. And Razorstein is giving one now in the training. And it has to stop before. This could lead to if you think riots and everything could get worse.
Well, it definitely could lead to riots. You've seen it in the past. If it doesn't stop, it's just going to escalate. You know what I mean? And people are just going to try and get away with more shit and more shit all the time. If you give someone an inch, they'll take a foot. If you let the cops, smack somebody, then they're allowed to shoot somebody the next day. It's ridiculous.
It's shot 16 times.
And I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm saying the training's bad. I'm saying the training is crap and they should get better training. You don't see this kind of shit in first world countries around the world. You don't see this crazy shit in Korea where cops, beat the hell out of people. You don't see this crazy shit in Germany where cops just beat the fucking hell out of people. You don't see this crazy shit in France and Europe. You don't see this shit in first world countries. But in our first world country, you see it. Why? You don't see this shit in Canada. Our neighbors to the north, they don't fucking beat the hell out of people. It's nuts. And like sometimes when you're in the mix, you don't see it. And it isn't until you step out and say, oh, well, I'm outside of the country and you have a different viewpoint. You're like, well, how come these people don't do that? Well, we're not insane. That's why. Well, are we insane? It kind of looks like it sometimes. And I'm not hating on America. I'm not saying that at all. But if there's improvements that we can make, well, we should make them, right? In theory. If there's things that we can improve, well, we should definitely do it. Instead of saying, well, not all cops are bad. Of course not all cops are bad. It doesn't fucking solve the problem. The problem still remains. And the problem is the training is absolute crap. And it leads to bad police. Not all police, but it leads to a lot of bad cops out there. So they're not, policing the right way. They're beating the shit out of people instead of thinking. They say that police who have college degrees are less violent because, they're more prone to be thinking and trying to solve things, verbally instead of running around shooting people, run around doing somersaults at a fucking pool party, black kids acting like a fucking lunatic. Did you see that video where that one cop's doing like somersaults and like, Rambo shit running around the neighborhood like a fucking maniac? Like, dude, have you lost your fucking mind? There's ways to police the situation. There's ways to deal with things. And how we're training these police is just not the right way. It's fucking wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. Now, of course, not all police are bad. And some asshole is going to say, you said all police are bad. And I didn't. But it's the training. The training is crap. That's my rant, Don.
You heard how I felt about the situation. This goes on at a daily basis. We're just seeing this situation.
Yeah.
Black lives should matter. And there is no right or reason why footage should have been tampered with and deleted. And it doesn't matter what you say. The people were giving the, the responses that it wasn't. What we understand is if you can't prove it, then they're going to say it didn't happen. When you're dealing with the organized gang, the police.
Yeah.
D. Don Juan Banks, Tommy Razorstein. This is Enter the Arena Uncut.